3, 2, 1. What's up? Welcome back to that Josh and Bailey show. Week 1 is in the books. Week 2 is in the making. As of right now, we've got most of the games done. We just are waiting on Sunday night and Monday night football. Initial thoughts.
Pretty big upsets this week. Pretty crazy. First one that came to mind was the the Vegas Raiders with the upset over the Ravens.
Yeah.
Did you catch any?
I caught the ending when they did the extra. I didn't catch any of the actual, but to me it looked like Gardner Minshew was doing his thing. It looked like he was feeling good. I don't know what was up with Baltimore. I don't know if they just couldn't get going, but I mean, if it was anything like last week, it was Lamar.
Yeah, that Raiders defense was all over the place.
Were they?
Yeah, making plays. Devontae Adams getting involved with Gardner. So yeah, that Raiders team looks decent.
Yeah.
I don't know, being in the division that they are, but I think they have a shot at being a decent team towards the end of the season.
Well, and that's the thing that I like about the 7th seed wild card is that teams like Vegas can still get in.
Oh yeah.
Another big upset. Anything?
Big upset. I think my next biggest one was Minnesota.
Okay.
Sam Darnold looks great. 97-yard touchdown to Justin Jefferson.
JJ, heal up. I got my JJ shirt on, actually.
Oh, there you go.
See?
Jettas.
The boy. Which is kind of weird because I'm like 3 weeks older than him, but who cares?
Right.
No, I think I don't know. From a Packers fan, opposing fan, what was your thoughts on the Vikings today?
Immediately, like that first few drives, I think both teams were a little sloppy, but Vikings just found a way to settle in. The defense looked incredible.
Dude, they fly around.
Making plays. But that 97-yard touchdown,
that's
play action into the end zone, dangerous. But Darnold being able to set it up, throw it on an absolute rope to Jefferson, getting by that defense. Jefferson making a move to get into the end zone it was incredible.
And it sucks that he got hurt because it's like if he stayed healthy throughout the game, I'm sure they would go to him on that last drive or the drive before when Aaron Jones fumbled. I'm sure they're trying to get him the ball. So it's like if you go up and you're up 27-10 against the Niners with 10 minutes to go, 8 minutes to go.
Oh yeah, you're putting that game away.
Yeah, it's a different ending. It's a different tone. I mean, and Brock Purdy was lacing him up as well. I mean, he I don't even think he had really any bad plays. It was more or less that the chunk plays, the big plays that the Vikings were making was just a little bit too much. But yeah, I mean, to get a win like that, to get a dub over San Francisco, who a lot of people are still saying is a Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl favorite, definitely says a lot about where the Vikings are and where they could go. Sam Darnold looks dang good. I was not a fan. I'm still a little wary about it just because he's done this before. Carolina went 3-0.
But through 2 weeks, he's looked phenomenal.
Oof. Yes, he will be a problem. Next week they get Houston at home, so another big test. We'll see how they do. An upset of some proportion, a little bit of annoyance to me. Tampa Bay goes into Detroit, takes care of business, 20-16 the final score. This one hurt just because it's a rematch of the divisional, and I think even in that divisional game, you could tell that Tampa Bay is a scrappy team.
Baker's a dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like they couldn't get anything going. Run game wasn't really going. I think Jameer only had, less than 100 yards. Montgomery got in the end zone again. So Amon-Ra was back. He came. He got off the bench. He was back. J-Mo had another good day. So it's just getting into the end zone, figuring it out when it counts, and if you can run the ball and throw the ball, which is kind of their game plan. Obviously, it's everyone's game plan,
right.
But I think they're
effectively.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that works more to their defense, just because their defense can be a little shaky at times. But yeah, tough loss, tough.
So staying in the division.
Stay in the division.
Green Bay Packers with backup quarterback Malik Willis getting it done against Indy today.
Weird. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I took the Colts. I did. I'm going to be honest. So I was able to watch the game, and believe they had like 160 something rushing yards in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I think they ended the game with like 230 or something like that. They stayed on the ground a lot. Malik Willis only throwing the ball, I believe, like 14 times. I think he was like 12 of 14 with like 126 passer rating, 1 touchdown to Dontavian Wicks. That Packers defense keeping the Colts from scoring. They let up 1 late touchdown to Alec Pierce. Richardson put together a good drive, but picking off Richardson 3 times. I don't know about Richardson. I was on the hype train with Richardson, but playing kind of a beat-up Packers team, especially without their starting quarterback, really not getting too much going outside of Jonathan Taylor. JT. That was a bad performance by the Colts today.
It's a good thing they got Josh Jacobs because I think that's why they got him. I think, your goal at the start is to take the pressure off of Jordan Love. Well, he goes down, so now your goal is to take the pressure off of Malik Willis. So I think that was a great pickup, and it's an even better pickup now. That defense, kind of like what you said, dogs. They're just dogs. Xavier McKinney, all-pro, respected. He's an elite player. I hate to say it. He's one of them guys. He's looking good. Looking good. Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark. Is he still up front? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So they're applying the pressure.
LaFleur putting together an amazing game plan for Malik Willis. The offense looked a little bit different. Still had the motion, still had the shifts, but definitely I'd heard the announcers talk about it a little bit, that it looked more like a college style offense in the way that they were running things, but it was effective, staying on the ground all day against the Colts. Huge game from Jacobs.
So side question, who's your MVP of the game?
I'm gonna stay with Jacobs just because of the effectiveness. If I'm not going with Jacobs, it's just the totality of that offensive line, being able to keep the game clean. There was a few penalties at the beginning, but 200 and some odd rushing yards. It speaks for itself.
You're putting in work. You're putting in the effort to get it done. All right, I'm going to expand it a little bit just because we went through the division. I don't think Chicago wins tonight, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, taking Houston as well.
So, MVP of the division today.
I'm going to go with Sam Darnold. Getting it done against a top team, like you said, with San Fran, a top defense. One pick. Fred Warner, all pro for a reason. He is that guy on defense. But, Sam staying calm, composed, dicing up a 49ers defense all day long. He's my MVP through 2 weeks.
All right. I'm gonna go Vikings as well. But I'm gonna give a guy a little bit of love who is kind of underrated up until the last 2 weeks, and that's Van Ginkel.
Yeah,
dude is a dog.
I think almost had 2 interceptions today that were dropped, but that one towards the goal line for San Fran
with Debo, and he tipped it.
What a pickup, Van Ginkel, man.
Well, and he's applying the pressure on the line. He breaks through. He's really, really good at getting his hands up. Me and my dad were talking about that. Just boom, just as soon as the ball, boom, he sees it.
You can tell he
got
watches
that instinct.
film.
Oh yeah. And he kind of, after B-Flow left, I think he flew under the radar. Now that they're back together in Minnesota, I feel like that's a really good matchup. I think that they're a match that can, elevate his game. B-Flow's a genius. So, I'm going to give credit where it's due. Van Ginkel, he's been killing it.
Yes, sir.
Maybe, because I don't have any Vikings jersey yet, maybe I go get one of his retros. It's a dirty number. It's a dirty number.
I think he's like 43?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
it's
so too.
A dirty
my
number.
uncle wants. Yeah, that's my uncle's new guy after Harrison Smith retires is Van Ginkel. So,
oof, Harry, Hall of Famer,
of course.
Okay, moving on to the rest of the league, we've got a blowout. L.A., Arizona blowout. If I told you that last week, there's a blowout in L.A.
It's L.A.
It's L.A.
Yeah, but Marvin Harrison Jr. After Kyler's comments last week about not force feeding him the ball, I think his first 2 touches, long touchdowns.
Starting the third, his stat line was 4 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Yeah. Marvin Harrison Jr. is that guy.
Dude. And the worst part of it is, it's like his dad is Hall of Famer. So even at this rate, he's still got to catch up. Like, old man, he was doing it for a long time. Like, he's a dog. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a dog, but
I think right now in that offense, I think Kyler's through 2 weeks looking like an MVP.
Well, I mean, okay. Honestly, if you take out last year, he got paid for a reason, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think people forget about that. Like, I was at my fantasy draft and someone drafted him and they're like, "Oh, wow, you're really gonna something like that." And I was thinking to myself, like, well, yeah, he's a fantasy. Like, he's one of the guys that you want on your fantasy.
Oh
team.
yeah, he's a fantasy
Anthony
stud.
Richard, yeah. Same thing with Anthony Richards, Lamar Jackson, those running guys who can make plays happen. And I literally turned it on for like 30 seconds, and the first thing that I see is Kyler Murray running around, makes a play, throws it up, and gets a touchdown. So if he plays like that,
yeah, we could see him sneaking in those MVP conversations.
One we didn't write down, but was a good game. Seattle, New England, 23-20.
Yep.
One of my favorite teams. I watched the highlights of that game just because I love them. They look good. Geno was doing his thing, threw up a tutty. DK, they left him open up top. Stupid. Defense here and there. But
New England's looking good though.
They're running the ball really well.
Yeah, Jacoby doing his thing, making sure that offense stays competent. But yeah, New England looks good. Seattle figuring some things out, but
2-0.
2-0.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Maybe should be 0-2, but 2-0.
Right.
Started the year off right.
Yep.
I heard Bo Nix sucks. Trevor Lawrence is overpaid. That's about all I need to say about those games.
Yep.
It sucks, but you kind of deserve it if you're paying guys like that. Same thing with the Giants. I didn't see the end of the Giants game. I don't really care, but if they won, good for them. If they lost,
actually, big kind of part about that game. Commanders winning 21-18 with the last second field goal. Austin Seibert, the kicker, scored all of Washington's points, going 7 for 7 on the day.
Wow, dude.
Yes. Yeah, 21 points to himself. Absolutely incredible looks like two bad offenses.
Sucks.
But yeah, I mean,
Imagine
7 of 7
for tickets for that.
Oh man, yeah.
Imagine I spent $80 to come watch this. I'd rather watch rugby or soccer or something like that. That sucks.
I'll watch some tennis.
That sucks. Okay, circle back to Thursday. Buffalo killed Miami.
Yeah.
We thought Tua was dead. I thought he passed away again.
Yeah.
Apparently he's not done.
No, it sounds like he's really not thinking about retirement, even though there's been kind of some speculation, especially after 2 years ago, getting those pretty bad concussions. Guessing he's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks. So Miami's going to have to figure out something, whether that be rocking with Skylar Thompson, going out and getting somebody like a Tannehill for these next few weeks. But yeah, I don't know, scary injury. I'm praying for Tua.
Yeah,
hopefully he's good.
Big prayers up for Tua. I mean, that you see it a lot. The CET is real. I first want to make that very clear because the reason that CTE kind of got famous is because these guys who were ballers were all of a sudden committing suicide. It's very serious. Junior Seau, yep, one of the big ones. So for him to not retire is. For me personally, I think it's a dumb decision. I know guys who have had 1 or 2 concussions and they're like, yeah, I'm not going to risk it, just because your head is like your most important, your brain, I should say, is your most important organ, along with your heart and some other things about the concussion thing is if it happens once, it's only going to get worse.
Yep.
Just because every single time it's going to keep on,
and the fencing.
Yeah, that's some scary stuff.
Yeah, dude. Watching that happen multiple times, it's like I know we talked about it a little bit, but yeah, the smart thing being for Tua obviously being retirement, just because it's we talked about it just being a game. He's getting his money no matter what. He's set up.
His family.
Now it's about health and safety.
Yeah. So. And I think I don't know. It's a lot. I don't love the decision, but if Miami keeps him clean, maybe they're still good.
So how many, if he does come back, is it one more and he's done, or do you think it's just going to be kind of the severity of the concussion that they're going to kind of base it off of? Because this last one was pretty bad again.
And it's like he's not even getting hit like on contact. It's when he's hitting his head on the ground. Like the last one, like one of the ones he got last year where he was just kind of dazed and confused. He got pushed and then he falls back and then he smacks his head on the ground. Yep. And the same thing with here. Like DeMar, it made a good hit, but it was, hit him in his chest. DeMar, was up top, boom, hits him. Tua smacks his head on the ground and now he's out.
Yep.
It's like it's hard to tell because if he got hit straight on like a targeting, definitely you're going to think about, don't play anymore. Whereas if it's like something where he's trying to fall, and I saw that he did try to do like a jiu-jitsu type of fall class. Either way, I don't think he should be playing just because it is risky.
So
if he got another one, I'm saying retire. Do I think he does? No, I don't think he does.
Something different about football guys, man.
Exactly, yeah. And well, in general, dude, like you see these old timers with their hands and their like sideways fingers, their toes are just like curled up over each other. So it's like, I don't love it, but it is what it is. It's not my problem.
Another big injury news coming out of San Francisco. CMC, Christian McCaffrey, going on IR, will miss at least 4 games. Rocking with Jordan Mason, though.
I don't know. I feel like last week I said that anybody could run on that line and do well. I don't know. I don't know about that anymore.
I mean, Jordan Mason had a decent day against the Vikings.
Yeah, but okay, yes.
Wasn't dominant, but like he had a decent day.
Anybody can run and have a good game behind that defense. I'll take it one step further and say nobody can do it like CMC. Whereas with him, you're probably going to win the Super Bowl. Without him, you're maybe going to get to the championship.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's just like a step. There's a certain level of dominance with CMC.
So let's look at our next few games. 4 weeks on IRA? So Rams, Patriots, Cardinals, Seahawks.
Yeah, so I think the Minnesota game does count towards that today since he was placed on before. Okay. But I don't know if it's going to be, right away after 4 weeks. I know IR, there's a certain window that you have to be able to come back. Otherwise, you'll miss, I believe, the season. Yeah, because
Danielle Hunter was on that type stuff last year.
So we'll see if, after these next 3 games coming up to see
where he's at. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And I know with him too, and I think we talked about this before, where it's like long term.
Yes.
As a fantasy owner, you're probably hating yourself right now. That was the worst first pick
for the Niners, though.
It's
playoffs.
Like, yes.
Yep.
Super Bowl or bust. Shanahan, you've been there twice. You haven't got it done.
Yep.
This is the
got some issues with cap coming up.
So what do you think though? Like, okay, we're kind of getting a little off topic, but I want to get there. So if Shanahan goes to the Super Bowl, doesn't win again.
I think if you're going to the Super Bowl, it's such a hard thing to be like, yeah, you've gotten there.
You see it in college all the time.
Yeah, you do. But Shanahan's such a great coach, great offensive mind. What he's done, obviously that team probably is the best roster in football.
Yeah,
top to bottom. I think depth wise. Multiple all pros. The way that Brock Purdy's been playing for the last few years,
that could even add to his case though, because you got to think contract season, renegotiating. You're instead of building up your players, you're picking them apart. So John Lynch, maybe he's thinking, look, Shanny, we got you all the guys. We traded half of our picks away. We've signed millions and millions, almost over $1 billion in contracts. What is missing?
So are you thinking that Shanahan could be on the hot seat?
I'm not putting him on a hot seat. I am saying
a little questionable though.
He's on a lukewarm seat.
Ooh,
he's on a lukewarm seat for me.
I'm saying he's good. I think he's good.
Think about LaFleur.
Yep.
When you went to the AFC or in the NFC championships, lost, couldn't get it done, how'd you feel?
Oh, yeah.
What's the question?
Question's coaching for sure, but does it come down to Shanahan or does it come down to kind of the rest of the coaching staff as well? Do you replace them?
You've got two guys that are head coaches right now.
Yep.
And they're both doing okay at their positions respectively. You got D'Amico, went pretty far last year, and then you got Saleh, who had a top tier defense, not really a great team, got a win today, but I'm just saying.
I guess we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what the Niners do if they're back in the Super Bowl this year, and if they're not able to get it done. See if there's conversations like that. But I think Shanahan's fine. I think just the way that 49ers organization runs, how good they've been over the last few years, I think Shanahan's fine. Off football?
Really quick football.
Okay.
Kind of off football. The most famous girlfriend in the world was at the game today. I guess we've never really talked about it, but do we love or do we hate Taylor Swift at the games?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why?
I think it brings in a different demographic, people into football, into that world. Probably more coming like the Taylor Swift fans coming into the game of football rather than football fans going to Taylor Swift. But you look at especially playoff games too. Like you look at the millions and millions more viewers coming into the games that Taylor Swift. Even a week 2 game, you're probably getting a few million extra, more.
Yeah, you're probably getting. Well, okay. So I
think she probably needs a little less airtime. I know she's even talked about it.
There you go.
I know she's talked about it too. That she's there for the NFL game. It's not all about her.
See, the problem for me though is that it's Kansas City, so the best team in football
gets the biggest artist in the world.
Biggest artist in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if Tom Brady was in a relationship with I don't know who. Like who'd be super famous at that period of time. I mean, you could do like Taylor Swift,
Beyonce.
There you go. Yeah, Tom Brady and Beyonce are dating, and Beyonce's at all the games. It's all Beyonce. I'd be probably annoyed. But with the Taylor Swift thing, Jim Nantz annoys me. First of all, I like him, but when he talks about Taylor Swift, annoying. Second thing, kind of like what you said, the airtime. Like we're at a football game.
Yep.
It's just a girlfriend. Plenty of other guys have famous girlfriends. We could chill a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But I do love it. I love seeing Taylor Swift at the games, supporting Travis.
I do. And I love that she's a converted Philly fan. I know I'm picking Philly to go really far, but I still kind of dislike them because the 17 championship run.
Yeah, Sirianni.
They killed it. So Sirianni's kind of that guy, but they killed it. Off topic. Or I guess off football.
Off football.
There was an incident this weekend at a golf course.
Yeah, was that today?
It was today.
It was today. Yeah. So, Trump's Mar-a-Lago.
Yep.
Shooting happened.
Shots fired. Yep.
Yeah. From what I had heard, it was 2 people not like involved with Trump, not at Trump, shooting at each other. Trump's safe. He's good. But yeah, definitely just another scary situation in the world of Trump.
He's an inch. I told my mom this as I was leaving the house, or while she was leaving. I was like, he's the most dangerous man in the world for a lot of reasons. But yeah, today's incident, I mean, definitely blown out of proportion. He's not even involved. There's, Secret Service is going to do what they're going to do either way. Yeah. Definitely not like the assassination attempt.
No, not even close.
But it does
raise some security questions.
Yeah,
for sure. Why at that course? Why is there shooting going on?
And you'd think that they would kind of have that course in general like locked up. Like everybody
if he's there,
everybody who's around that course is probably being background checked. Everything like that.
So they're getting checked, like metal detectors, whatever, getting checked for weapons.
He's
whatever.
Had a wild week.
Yeah,
Trump has had a wild week.
Yep. After the debate,
dropped the hardest line in the world. I think it was hilarious. I loved watching it. They're eating the dogs.
The most beautiful dogs. Yes. Eating the dogs. Eating the pets.
What did you think about the debate?
We talked about it a little bit. I was able to, kind of watch it, but watched about 2 minutes each of them talking, and I couldn't deal with it. Debates are just terrible. It's so hard to watch being your everyday average American citizen, watching two people rather than actually debate on serious topics, kind of just go at each other's throats. You saw Kamala a lot poking the bear, but Trump fed into it a lot.
Yes.
One big thing that Trump seems to not like is the crowd size. Doesn't like when Kamala talks about
man size.
No, don't talk about man size.
Don't talk about man size.
But yeah, she was poking him, and he was feeding into everything. So I think when it comes to the debate, I really don't know if there's a clear winner when it comes to actual debate topics. Yeah. But I mean, Kamala did her job in getting him flustered.
Yep, she got him riled. And I think I told you this too, where it's like nobody was really swayed. And from the people I've talked to too, because I was just up away at a wedding this weekend. And from the people I've talked to, it doesn't seem like anybody was really swayed one way or another. Mm-hmm. So did the debate do its job? I don't know. I mean, I didn't really learn anything.
I think it's just for show.
Yeah, they didn't really talk policy. Like neither of them did. Like he didn't, she didn't.
It's just a shit talking contest.
It's literally just, you did this, I did that, I did this, you did that. You're the reason this is bad. Like, come on. Like and for the first time when I was watching it, I actually recognized like the strategies they were coming from. I guess I'd never really thought of it like that, but you could definitely see that this was his game plan to talk about immigration, to talk about, the economy, to talk about, how we're involved in the war. And then her topics were J6, were how, he hasn't really done anything for abortion rights. He had problems with negotiations.
I think
how
the
his tactics were backwards.
Project 2025 is a big one.
2025 is a big one.
Yeah.
So I definitely saw those like tactics coming through, and I mean, I don't know. Her game plan might have worked, maybe.
I think it's subjective. I mean, it's whether you think that Trump was rattled, whether you don't, whether you think that Kamala was rattled, whether you don't. I think one big kind of issue with the debates is just the repetitiveness that we've heard, not only over these last few months, but what you've heard over the past, how many years? 8 years. Been a lot more issues coming up that are, pretty big issues that don't get talked about enough because, we're going back to J6. We're going, obviously immigration being a big issue, but nothing really being done about it on either side. You had the wall. Well, you can have your opinion on the wall, but then, you have Biden Harris that I think have now let in a record number of illegal immigrants. But yeah, there's so many topics that they start talking about, but then they just go back to just shit talking each other.
Yeah, and you kind of hit the nail on the head because it is like these things are real things that are happening. Like there is a war in Ukraine going on right now. There's a war in Gaza right now. There are, like you said, record number of immigrants coming into this country illegally. Abortion rights. Roe v. Wade did get overturned. That is something that they hit on, but at the same time, she's talking about how they're going to change it. Well, he's talking about like, no, give it back to. It's just the policies aren't there. They're just more or less putting light on the topic.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing any, like you said, they're not doing anything. They're just shedding light on the topics and saying it's your fault.
They're trying to make themselves sound good.
Yeah. And I mean,
they want the
politicians. And I think I told you this off camera, but when I'm 65, I really hope that nobody our age is still trying to run for office.
Oh man, yeah. Moving forward, kind of that progressive, get
them out of here, bro. Term limits, not a bad idea.
Oh yeah.
Get them out of here.
Yeah. Well, not even term limits. I think like the age limits, we have the minimum age, 35 for president? Yeah. I think there'd be a good idea to have a maximum too.
Yeah. I mean, what, like 65?
Yeah. I mean,
65 to start your last term?
Right. I mean, you definitely don't want somebody being 78 years old.
Like, I want you to live with your policies.
Right. Yeah. Right. See how, like, live through it, like how it affects you, 100%.
Because then I think you'll think a little bit more about it. I mean, I don't know.
See your kids go through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oof, tough. Where are we going with the world? But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting week all around the board. But it is what it is. Yeah. It's the election season.
Yeah, we're getting close.
I'm not looking forward to it.
No, absolutely not.
It's only going to turn up. On to a lighter topic. Like I said, I was at a wedding this weekend. Yeah. I was at a wedding last weekend.
Yeah. How was the wedding this weekend?
It was good. It was short. Another short one. Nice. Mitchell and Page's was a little bit longer, but this wedding they did a unity candle. I did not know what a unity candle was, and I kind of couldn't really see it because there was like a post in the way.
Is that like the two candles merging into one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how they did it because I couldn't see it, but that's what it was. I don't know. I've been to a lot of weddings, and I'm starting to see a routine. And my sister's planning her wedding. Your sister's getting married.
Yeah.
So I mean, what are your thoughts about the whole wedding? 25-year-old, 24-year-old. What's that like for us now? Because we're getting up there.
Yeah.
I have gray hair, so we're getting up there.
Getting gray hair. Oh my gosh. I think from like two guys who aren't married, no immediate plans to get married. Seeing your friends getting married, having kids, that kind of thing. I sit back and I'm like, God, it's so weird. But then you sit down and you realize it's like, yeah, we're 24, 25 years old. Like this is the time that people are doing that. And it's like, it really shouldn't be weird.
No.
But I think it's just more of like, these are the people that you've hung out with, been around for how many years. So it's like, yeah, it is a little weird.
It is. Like, I mean, I was at that wedding yesterday and I was sitting at a table and one of the guys was like, he was talking to the groom's dad and he's like, Jay, you're getting old. Your kid's getting married. And I was like, whoa. Because, like, it kind of put in perspective where it's like he doesn't think that he's old. Because the reason he's saying that is because he's like, oh, haha, you're old. Your kid got married. But it's like, whoa, like, you don't feel old. And I've talked to a couple people about it where it's like, yeah, I still feel like I'm in my 30s. And it's like, they're not in their 30s. So I think to your point, like, yeah, it is weird. Like, I don't feel not like ready for it, but I don't feel like I'm at that age where I'm able to. It's almost like driving, like getting your driver's license, where it's like when you turn 16, you're like, oh yeah, I get to have my driver's license. But now I'm looking down at kids who are 16. I'm like, you should not be driving.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing with like weddings. I'm like going to all these weddings and I'm seeing all these people get married. I'm like, wow, like this is actually like where people are at in their life. And something I just thought of too, like think about our grandparents, dude. Like they were getting married at like 18.
Yeah. Even before, five years prior.
Like, dude, like they were probably working on their second kid, third kid, maybe. Like I don't know. I think where we're at in life and just weddings in general, like it's a beautiful thing. Like I love going to weddings. Like I like seeing people be happy. It's just weird to think that it's us. Like we're in the prime.
Yeah. I'd say like being a part of weddings is crazy.
Yeah, because you were Mitchell's best man.
Yep.
So, and your sister's man of honor. So what is that like as far as having that responsibility put on you?
I think kind of getting back to that point of like being old. It's just like having that like real responsibility over another person's like biggest day of their life. Yeah. Luckily for me, Mitchell and Paige's wedding was absolutely amazing. It was, like you said, short, very easy. There was not any stress put on me outside of holding on to the rings. But no, it's amazing when you have your best friend asking you to be their best man, and having your sister ask you to be her man of honor. You kind of swell up with pride. Yeah. It's so far been pretty easy for the most part.
I can definitely tell, like, going into your sister's wedding and going into Mitchell's, you definitely feel more, I don't want to say like prideful in a way where it's like, oh, but you definitely feel proud to have that honor. Like you feel honored. That's a good way to put it. You feel honored to have it. Because I know when you were talking about doing your best man speech, you're like, oh, like, I've got it all planned out. You had it worked out. And so I think you were the right person for it, and so I'm happy for you. Like, I'm happy that you got that opportunity, and I could definitely see how important it is to you.
Yeah.
And so that gives me hope. Like, that gets me excited, because if I do ever get married one day, I want the people that, you know, are in my wedding or at that to understand that. And I think you kind of showed me that, you know, being as, you know, one of my bestest friends, you showed me that, hey, like, even though it doesn't feel right, it feels weird, you can still do it. Like, this, you are still built for it. And so when you gave your best man speech, I was like, that's my guy. Like, that is my guy.
Oh yeah, I could definitely feel the nerves, because Mitchell's mom was the one that spoke before me, and when she was kind of getting emotional, I was like, oh man, like, this is gonna be bad. But then she settled in, was able to give a phenomenal speech, and actually gave me the confidence to settle down. I know I kind of, at the start, my first time ever speaking in front of a crowd ever,
I didn't notice anything. I was like, that's just my guy. That's my guy doing his thing.
Little rifling through it at first, but once I settled into it, you know, being able to speak my feelings about Mitch and Paige, it was amazing.
It was good. Yeah. And I mean, I've got a couple more to go in the next couple weeks. I've got none. I don't have any next week, but I have the one after that, and I have another one in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we got
we got friend. I'm hyped for that one. I think that's gonna be a fun one. To see all the old people again. So no, I think, I don't know, because I get to officiate my sisters, and when she asked me to do that, I was like, no hesitation, like, I'll do it. Like, she texted me, she's like, I'm gonna ask you something, and it's okay, you can say no. I was like, what? She's like, will you do my wedding? And I was like, yes. I think I did it. I think I responded in like 30 seconds, because you do feel that pride. You do feel that, like, yeah, like, to this person, I am important. And I think that's a big part of, you know, our age that a lot of us want, is just to feel important, to feel wanted, to feel loved in other ways from just like relationships, sex, you know, Instagram, social media, like just that popularity part. There's a certain side of it where it's like, yeah, like, I want to feel important to my friends.
Yeah. And it's nice being able to reciprocate it back to them in that way.
Yeah. Like, if I ever got married, I'd put you on one of the guys standing next to me, because it's just like, you know, I want to show the people that I love them, and you know, I can say it all day, every day, but
I love you too.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a busy fall, spooky season, cuffing season, wintertime,
cuffing season.
Yeah. I'm not dating anyone.
No.
I probably should get on that, being as I'm almost 26.
Yeah.
But
days are numbered.
Days are numbered. Dude, I'm almost 30. I got 5
You're basically
years.
30. You're basically
I'm an old
30.
man.
Yeah, you're old.
Oh, gross. Don't say that.
I still got a couple months before I'm 25, so I'm good for
I'll be closer to 30 than you'll be. Wait. I'll be closer to 30 in 2 weeks than I will be to 20.
That's gross to think about.
If you're 30, you're not that old. If you're over 30, you're not that old. It's just scary for me because I've never been 30.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Nice save.
that was
that close.
That was it close.
Some people might not like it.
They might not like it.
It's all right.
Yeah, whatever. It's not my problem. So we kind of were talking about this last week, music-wise, because the VMAs were this week. So, you know, Taylor Swift, like, cleaned house. Post Malone is now doing other music. Like, what is your take on where music is at in 2024?
I would say it's better than what it was like 4 years ago. I think having that like SoundCloud era of like rap was so popular. Some great like music, great artists came out of that era, but I think just the trendy one hit, you know, maybe a couple songs that chart. But getting back to like you said, like Taylor being who Taylor is, being a GOAT. Post Malone being up there.
Drake, Kendrick
coming
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
J. Cole coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say it's better off than it was a few years ago.
Yes.
Still some steps to take, but I think all around, I think like the popular music now having more more genres being popular than before.
I'm just trying to think of like, you know, when like we were in like middle school or like high school, it would be like these pop songs, and all of a sudden it just have like a dubstep like just drop.
Yep.
Bro, where did those songs go?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you got Sabrina Carpenter, who I love Espresso. Like it was annoying for maybe 2 weeks, but then after that I was like, all right, I'm in. And so it's like, I think to your point too, where it's like you're seeing these artists again where they're not copying out to a trend. Like they're not copying out to having a dance routine to it.
Yeah.
They're not
Making it for social media like
exactly.
TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's genuine artists making music again. Like Post Malone, he's definitely able to do different things, whereas Taylor Swift can do like all sorts of different things. Like she started out as a country artist, so I think you're right where it's like music is in a better spot now than it was, just because people are able to do things they want.
Yeah. Well, especially Taylor.
Yeah.
Doing everything Taylor's version.
Dude, that's such a power move.
Oh yeah.
That's a billionaire mindset, dude. Like, all right, you're not gonna give me my stuff back. I'm just gonna do it again better. Like, bro, chill.
Make more money on it.
Bro, chill. Okay, so if I had to ask you then, okay, actually no, I'm gonna ask you something else. Do you think COVID had an effect on music?
I think one big thing that it affected was social media.
Oof.
Over COVID, TikTok being such a big thing. TikTok videos, you're not having a full 3-minute song playing in a video, so you have these 10 to 30-second videos where it's like that trendy kind of dancing. And I think the attention span of kids not being able to listen to a full song definitely affected probably the amount of listens.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
But I think it also gave artists time to really sit back, discover more creativity within themselves, make great music.
Yes.
They had nothing but time for over a year to kind of just sit at their house and do nothing but
nothing.
Right.
Dude, you know what I love though, and this is kind of sidetracking, but Charlie Puth, have you ever seen his TikToks?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Dude, I love those. I love how he's got perfect pitch. Like if I had perfect pitch, I think I would probably be a millionaire because I would just make music all day. I think if I could sing, I think I'd make music all day. But okay, give me your top 5 in the last 5 years. Like if you had to make a Mount Rushmore of top 5 artists.
Mount Rushmore isn't 4. Are we going 5? We'll go 4. I think we talked about 4.
Okay, we'll do 4. Okay. Mount Rushmore of 4.
Over the last 5 years.
Over the last 5 years. Who is on Mount Rushmore?
For me,
I like that. Let's do 2 Mount Rushmores.
Okay.
One Mount Rushmore for
best
worldwide. Yep, worldwide best.
Ooh, worldwide. Okay.
Like goated, like GOAT list. Like greatest of all time, greatest of last 5 years.
Yeah.
And then let's do our Mount Rushmore.
So I'm gonna start off with mine because it's a little bit easier, and there'll probably be a couple that'll go on to like the kind of all time. But starting off with Drake, I mean it's Drake. Same thing with Taylor Swift. 2 of the biggest artists in the world, popular everywhere, continue to make hits. I think Morgan Wallen.
Yep, that's a good one.
Has been on an absolute tear.
That's a good one.
Well, and he kind of not like obviously he's still country, but making a little bit different music going, with Dirk.
Broadway, yeah.
Yeah, Broadway. I was going with Dirk, and then who's the other one? Was it Moneybagg Yo?
I don't know.
There was another one that with another rapper that he had made a song with, but Morgan has been on an absolute tear.
Dude, I do like Morgan Wallen a lot. I think, first of all, I think he's the reason Nashville is so popular. He put Nashville on the map. I mean, I've been to Nashville. You've been to Nashville. The Nashville I went to is not the Nashville today, and I think that's because of Morgan Wallen.
Right.
He's a Tennessee guy. I think he really got his start in Nashville, if I'm not mistaken.
I guess I'm not too sure. I wasn't a huge fan of him.
I know he's mostly headquartered out of Nashville, and so I think his influence on country music shows. Like, cause you know, there was like the Florida Georgia line, the Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, where it's like bro country, but he kind of was like, I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Yep.
And you see that a lot with like Zach Bryan too, where it's like they're different type of country. So I think that's a good pick all around. And he doesn't miss.
Yeah, my fourth, Post Malone. Posty. Transitioning, you know, he kind of, you know, he started off rapping, made that hip hop rap music, kind of transitioned into like a pop artist for a little bit there.
Yeah.
And then now gravitating towards the country.
Yeah.
And didn't matter if it was hip hop, pop, country, he still makes great music.
Dude, and he could sing.
Yeah. He has a voice fit for country music too.
Yeah, he does, dude. Oh wow, that's a good point. I didn't ever think of that.
Yeah.
Because he's got that kind of like a little so like there's a little vibrato in it. Okay, so then you got Posty. My Mount Rushmore, and that's like your worldwide, or what is that?
No, that's like my like kind of who
you would listen to.
Yeah, okay. For like top, like kind of like trendy artists that people know. Mine.
Drake is number one. See, I'm more of like a rap rock type guy. So Drake is number one for me, and Drake also can do pop. He can do anything he wants.
R&B, rap.
R&B. Dude, take care.
Yep.
Kill me every time with that. Drake. I would go Morgan Wallen too. I would like him on.
You're not putting T Swift at 2?
No way, dude. I would go Morgan Wallen at 2. Then I'd go T Swift, and then I would go Post. If that's
top
the
4
Mount Rushmore, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like, I mean, you could throw Weeknd in there. You could throw Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez. But as far as consistency goes, those 4. Posty maybe a little bit here and there, but those 3 at the top, and then Post Malone at the next spot. I think they've kind of gone the distance with it. Like, you could put Justin Bieber in there too,
right?
Just because of longevity. Your guy Chris Brown kind of had an up and down. Rihanna, she's been at the top for a long time. Now she's more on her like
entrepreneurship.
Yeah, her entrepreneurship. So I think that she over the last 10 years, I feel like she'd be on that list.
Oh yeah, yes,
but
absolutely.
Not necessarily right now. I don't know. Billie Eilish was one that I thought of, because she's got what 3-4 Grammys for movies now. Like she's made soundtracks for movies and it's worked. Trying to think who else. Travis Scott, underrated as far as like his reach, because he started off Antidote way back, and then he's kind of built his. He's kind of stayed consistent throughout the years. New rappers that I like, though. NLE. I love NLE. I'd chop it up with NLE if I could.
Corny as fuck.
I like Yeet. I don't know why.
Ooh.
He kind of annoys me, but I like him a lot.
See, I haven't listened to really any Yeet. I've heard.
That's basically what it is. About New Year today. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like those type of artists, they're consistent, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like you look at Michael Jackson or Billy Joel, where it's like they got these consistent albums, these consistent hits across the board. Kendrick Lamar was like that, and then he took 5 years off.
Yeah.
And then I picked Drake in the duel, and I freaking lost.
Yeah. So going back to like that Mount Rushmore like worldwide. I don't listen to like a lot of non-American artists, so I don't know like that world of music. But one, not artist, but band that over the last 5 years that was huge and I'd seen all over social media, never listened to them, was BTS, the K-pop.
Yeah, the K-pop group.
Yeah, so that's one that I wanted to shout out quick. I don't know, I'd probably take off Morgan off the Mount Rushmore if it came worldwide. I'd probably leave Posty on, but yeah, I wanted to shout out BTS
Morgan's
just because they were
because nobody's gonna listen to country.
Right. But yeah, I want to put BTS kind of as an honorable mention. I don't know much else worldwide. So.
You know who I like? It's a rapper, so it's not like really worldwide. He's not like terribly famous, but Central C. I like him a lot.
Okay.
I like that he raps with his accent. Just because it's like it's new. Mm-hmm. It's not like, I mean, there's always been like British rappers like rapping, but it's just like, I don't know why, but his flow, it just makes me like bob my head and I'm just bouncing. So it's like, I like Central C a lot. Now I'm just shouting out artists that like. If you go to my Spotify,
we can move into that too.
All right, what do you got?
So, give me your top 5 artists or bands
that I like.
That like you listen to on a consistent, constant,
on a regular.
Basis. Yeah.
Okay. So Drake's on there. This band Loathe. They're a metal rock band. They do some screamo. They don't do a whole lot. But dude, I'd like gatekeep them so hard. See, that's the problem with me and music. I gatekeep it so hard. Everlong, I was ahead of the curve. Mr. Brightside, I was ahead of the curve. Who else was I ahead of the curve on? Walk the Moon, when they had like 3 different songs, I was ahead of the curve on them. Hippocampus, ahead of the curve on them, which is a band that I listen to. They're local from Minnesota. Let's see, Loathe, Hippocampus, Drake. I really like Future. I do listen to other bands too. 3 Days Grace is one that has always kind of like just been on a back burner where I could just flip it on if I need to go to the gym, do something crazy. I'm trying to think who else. There's a couple of other bands, like there's a band called Eliza and the Delusionals. Really good. Kind of that indie vibe. See, that's my thing where it's like I'll go rap to indie probably back and forth, and then if I'm at the gym or if I'm just like not in a good mood, I'll throw on like rock, metal, something like that, just because I don't know, my mood kind of drives what I listen to, if that makes sense. Home, the artist Home, it's a DJ synth artist, made Resonance, now super famous on TikTok. I was ahead of the curve on that. Listen to it, dude. I'm telling you, I got good music. Just years in advance, and then by the time I'm done with it, everybody else is on it. So, what about you? Who are your faves?
My artist, little bit. I listen to like mainstream artists.
Okay.
I don't go too much out of my comfort zone with music. I like what I like. I do have 2 honorable mentions. Ella Mai and Her, the 2 of my favorite female artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, my top 5, Tory Lanez.
Yup.
Got Post in there, of course. Got Drake.
Yup.
Got Morgan Wallen in there.
Yup.
So those 4 kind of all over the place. You can kind of rank them 2 through 5. Yeah. But my number 1's Chris Brown. Listen to him all the time, every day.
Yes.
And we talked about it a little bit, but the talent is off the charts. And what he does with music, able to make, different music as well, going from like the hip hop, R&B. He's had a few EDM songs, kind of go across the board.
That's controversial though. It's still controversial because I mean, some people don't forgive very easy. They forgive, but they don't forget.
Yeah, and we talked about that with the Tyreek thing.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah, we did. Yep. And I think Chris Brown, like that's not like a hot take, but it is like a bold take. Like that's.
Oh yeah, I get questioned on it all.
Exactly, because it's like, don't you know? Like, yeah, I do know, and don't you know that people.
This is like the 3rd time you told me, so yes, I do know.
Thank you. So
yeah.
No, I like Chris Brown too. I think you kind of put me onto him at that 11:11 album, so I was like, dude.
Yeah, I had a hard time. Picking between probably his last 2 albums. The 11:11 and Breezy, like what my favorite was. I think I'm leaning towards 11:11. It's such a great album.
It's so good. It's long. That's what I like too. Is like it's just a long album. So if you
hopefully he gets another Grammy, because him having, I understand the situation, but him only having 1 Grammy is
kind of sus.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised like Loyal not winning 1.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that a little bit
like,
too.
Even being at 2, it's like okay, but Loyal not getting 1 was kind of like. That's the shot that that the Grammys are taking. But I think he's going to be nominated this year. I don't know if he wins because there's been these last couple Grammys he's gotten shafted.
R&B artist that I like, Kali Uchis.
Who?
She's an artist. I think she's Latin. I don't know, but she's on. Probably not any songs that you know, but she's with Don Toliver. Like they have a baby. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, she got a vibe. I'll put you on to her. She's got a vibe. But no, I think you kind of did something right there. You said the Grammys are taking shots at people. Think about it like this: Drake hasn't won a Grammy since way back when.
Mm-hmm. I think the worst that I had ever seen the Grammys was when Macklemore was beating out Kendrick.
Yeah, dude.
Was that the
Butterfly?
Was that?
No, that was Mad City. That was Mad City.
Was it Mad City?
Yeah, he got Pimp a Butterfly and Damn. Mad City lost it.
Yeah.
How?
See, yeah. Well, just like that trendy kind of, and I mean, Macklemore had a few songs, but I think just like the biggest songs at that time. But Kendrick, over the years, kind of getting his recognition for sure. But
although Mr. Morales, I'm just glad Tyler the Creator didn't win it again. I like Tyler the Creator, but I'm glad he didn't win again because he was kind of getting a little out there. He's kind of getting a little funky.
Right. So. I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you have like a guilty pleasure artist or band?
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Yes. Teenage Dream, TGIF, The One That Got Away. Those are kind of my guilty pleasure songs.
Okay.
Firework also there. I don't know. They just when they came out, it was like my middle school years. I remember Teenage Dream because it was on Glee, and my sister watched Glee, and I saw the guys singing it, and he sounded really good singing it. And so then I was like, okay, well, I'll listen to it. Well, then I listened to that whole thing. California Girls, forgot about that one. But no, I listened to that whole thing, and it's just like it puts you in a very nostalgic mood now, just because I think about where I was at in life when I was 12, 13. Right. Not like I was really doing anything, but like my friends, hanging out with people that I don't see too much, just like what was going on around the world at that time. So it's very nostalgic for me. And also it still bops. Like I'll be at the gym plugged in, and I've got Teenage Dream on, or I got California Girls on. I'm like, yep, this is where I'm at today. I'm not moving. The One That Got Away, bro, just put like as much on as we can get, and I'll go to it.
So I got
what
two.
about you? Yeah, I got to say, what about you?
So I think one thing that most guys now can admit, so this is my guilty pleasure when I was a little bit younger, was I love Justin Bieber and his old music. I love it now. I think as a kid,
love it probably now, but yeah, no, I think as get a kid, what you're saying.
Yeah, and every guy around our age knows exactly what I'm talking about. When you're, I think we were probably like 3rd, 4th grade. Baby comes on, you're like, this is the worst song ever. But then like you get your MP3 player,
dude. You want to pick up chicks? You want to pick up chicks? You pull up JB.
Yeah. But my guilty pleasure now is Big Time Rush.
Bold.
But yeah, like you were talking about at the gym, I would say 90% of the time, like when we're working out or if I'm at the gym, it's Big Time Rush. I don't know what it is. But just that boy band.
Dude, I like that pick, but I just thought of something. Jonas Brothers.
Oh man, I used to listen to some Jonas Brothers for sure. I still have some music downloaded. I actually went to their revival tour after they
Dude, you know what my sister said? She said that Joe's a better singer than Nick.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's a terrible take.
That's a terrible take. You're an idiot.
Just because Joe's a front runner. No, it's
I don't even put him as a front runner. Nick did it better.
But I think just like the look wise, I think Joe was kind of pushed out. You got the lead in the Camp Rock movies. Yeah.
Well, and he doesn't play no music, so he can dance. He can do whatever he wants. So.
Right. Not saying he's a bad artist.
Bro, Big Time Rush guys though. Mm-hmm. The two tall ones. What are their names? The tall ones. The one's blonde.
Kendall and James.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always when I was watching a TV show, I was always like, dude, those guys are so cool. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be those guys. The other two, I was more like the other two, but I was like, dude, those guys are so cool. Yep. So, are they your role model? Is that who you look up to?
Role model?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
terrible.
No. Okay. Do we have anything else on the list?
I don't think so. You got anything?
No. I will give a hot pick for tomorrow night. I think Philly kills Atlanta. I think it's I want to say blowout, but I think we realize why Kirk Cousins isn't that good. And I think
Minnesota fans hated me.
Why?
Hated me for saying that Kirk Cousins was not that guy.
Sam Darnold got to 2-0 in 2 weeks. Kirk didn't do it in 6 years.
Yeah, well, I just seen this is our first 2-0 start since like 2016.
So even the 17
before
year,
Kirk.
even the 17 year, we didn't get there. You know, the last time we went there, we went 5-0 with Mike Zimmer, and then we lost the next 4, and then we went 8-8.
Yeah, I'm also taking Philly. I think they're gonna handle business. They're gonna control the whole game.
Yeah.
Just that team in general. I don't think they're gonna let Kirk get comfortable.
And it's a home game.
Yeah,
It's a home game for Philly. The Link gets rowdy. Philly fans, not my favorite people in the world, but if I was one of them, that is a vibe. Yeah. It's kind of like the Green Bay fans in Green Bay. I just can't stand them, but their way of life is just what I want.
Yeah. I know we talked about it, but got to get out to Green Bay, man. Because I think you see it from like the outside perspective of like Packer fans talking about it. But even like my first trip out to Lambeau I couldn't have imagined. Yeah.
No, I think definitely you're right. Yeah, I have to go out and see it as much as I don't want to make the 5-hour trip. I will. If you want to go, I will go watch the Lions beat the piss out of Jordan Love and the Packers. I would love to see it.
After losing to Tampa today, that's
even if I have to go in disguise, if we go out and I have to put on something green and gold.
We're not like that though. We're not like that though. No. That's Chicago. Like if you wear like green and gold in Chicago, that's dangerous.
I wouldn't wear anything in Chicago.
Yeah.
I'd
you
might
wear
white because I could.
Right. I would say like Lions. It's not that way.
Bad. What about Vikings?
I would say the middle ground. I would say like a Bears fan, you're probably getting a beer dumped on you, maybe a brat thrown at you.
Vikings fan, you're just getting dirty looks, Snickers.
Right.
Detroit, you're probably getting it's good that you guys
finally,
welcome to the party.
Yeah,
been
a couple years.
Shut up. Yeah. Just because it's the first time they're good doesn't mean you can just let us remember it.
Well, you have to, because now they're the team to beat. So
well, guess who's I guess they're tied for second place.
1-1. Yeah, nice. All three of us are gonna be tied except for Minnesota.
Who would have thought? 2 weeks in, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I've got. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving us a follow, giving us a sub.
It's been amazing over these last couple days.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see like how people are like actually responding to it. It got me fired up. Not gonna lie, it got me fired up.
I think even like when I think I texted you like, can't wait to get to 10 followers, and we hit it. Got to 20 followers, and it's like, wow, like we're actually doing the thing.
We're moving up. 2 days. No, I think I'm really grateful. Yeah. I know I'm really grateful.
Mm-hmm. I think so coming up Monday, so probably next video will be Saturday. Get
this up, and then we'll plan for Saturday with more week 3 preview. If anything crazy happens during the week, we'll cover that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, it's been a good day.
Yeah.
Crazy football today. But that's all I got.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks.